it's always good to reach out if you want help, if you think someone else might be able to put you in a better position. Hi, I am Jyoti Singh. So I have an hormonal condition as well. I have PCOS, and I did not have like very usual signs of PCOS. I did not have weight gain. I did not have acne. But one thing I noticed that I would always feel anxious. When I was with my friends, when I was with my family, I would be absolutely all right. But as soon as you leave me alone, I would think so much and make myself so sad that I would end up crying. That's when I realized that, few years back when I would feel so anxious, that was because of some reason. I realized that a lot of women who have PCOS are naturally drawn to being more anxious and being more depressed. I think the biggest feeling would be feeling lonely. So it wasn't that I did not have friends. It wasn't that my family was not with me. It wasn't that anyone was leaving me alone or abandoning me. But the feeling of loneliness would hit me. And I still remember it felt like I was choking. Not physically, but mentally. That was actually the day when I realized I should seek help. I started thinking more about it. I started thinking positively about therapy. 2024 beginning, I realized no, things are not going the way it should be. And that's when Amaha happened. I knew about Amaha before. I took my own sweet time to research, to get to know, to identify the right therapist. And once I found it, I feel that has been the best decision ever. Shraddha was my therapist, and she helped me so much to come out of not only what I was going through, but also a lot of different things that help me now in my life, even professionally and personally both. If I look back, if I would have gotten therapy back then, it would have helped me so much more. But it's okay, I took a step later, but I did take it, that's important. I'm actually open to sharing it with people as well, that I have taken therapy, because I see it as an awareness rather than a weakness. I got into a relationship with someone who was absolutely not meant for me. And there were red flags since the beginning. I don't know what happened, I was just not looking at them. Slowly, I started seeing the differences between us. So the way I think, the way I view life, the way he viewed life was so different. I realized that he slowly just wanted to get me under his control. That started with, just like a big fight with, why are you meeting this other guy? What makes you meet another guy? Why do you have other guy friends? To slowly even starting to remove people from my Instagram, taking control of my social media. So he wanted to take control of my actions. You have gotten yourself so much into it that you don't know how to leave this person, because this person can be very dangerous if you even ask them to let you go. I would just end up crying randomly. I started, and because I would cry so much, I started throwing up. So it was not working out for me mentally, and it was showing in my body as well. It was a difficult phase when I was trying to get rid of him, but I finally did. And I think that's the bravest decision I've taken so far. So I knew Amaha through various, places. Like I had read about them on the internet. I knew about them through social media. Choosing a therapist is also very important. Like choosing the right person for you. I feel it's very important to have like a good experience. So I took my own time. I went through the app, through the website, and reading about who are the therapists here in Mumbai. There's, I think so, a feature that you can actually enter what your concerns are, and they will recommend you. There in the recommendations, Shraddha was there. I think whenever you're choosing a therapist, there are like few pointers mentioned below that I'm the best, or I can help you with this particular thing. So there were few things there which stood out for me, because my main concerns were anxiety, my main concerns were I would feel lonely, and my main concerns were overthinking. So those stood out in her profile, all the three things I could see that she can help me with. And then I think so after reading everything, I was like, okay, this is the one. I still remember the first time I came here, I was so nervous because I did not know what to expect. There were so many thoughts in my mind. How is it gonna be? What if it does not go right? You always start thinking negative more than positive. I don't know, will I be able to cover everything that's my concern? Will I be able to share openly? Will she be able to understand where exactly it is coming from? But she was very gentle, and it went really well. And yeah, it's been a good experience with her. And since that relationship, even if I tried meeting others or in my usual life as well, I would not feel complete. I would always feel that something is missing in my life, and I felt that the something missing in my life is a person. I came with that thought here, and I still remember Shraddha saying something which which still rings in my mind now, that the missing piece is not a person, the missing piece is the old you. She did not interrupt me much. She let me speak. She let me just say what's going on in my mind. Then she just spoke. She just validated whatever I was feeling, and she suggested me the way forward. She discussed with me, see, this is the way we are going to move forward. Are you comfortable with it? If you're not, let's discuss an alternate as well. And I was pretty much comfortable with however she was planning to take the sessions ahead. And I think that was really helpful. That is something that I did not experience in my last therapy. So the first session was just understanding bit, and then slowly, she wanted to dive into, from the bigger concerns to the smaller ones. So I think the first 2-3 sessions we spent on understanding where the anxiety is coming from. She did suggest me certain audios, she did suggest me certain things to read, she suggested me certain activities to do. For example, like I still remember one very clearly, which I still try to use, viewing any situation from a third person's perspective. So I think the 5th, 6th or maybe like 7 sessions were deep diving into those smaller things, which I also did not realize this could be the reason. So the way she had structured the therapies was very helpful, because I felt that every possible thing that could have hampered my mental health, we were discussing it. So what was happening was I was not able to apply whatever happened. That took time, I will agree. It did not happen in a session, it did not happen in 2 sessions. I think over the time, maybe over like 5-6 months, slowly I started taking things more maturely, I can say, mentally mature. The other thing I think which really helped me was understanding your attachment style. Like I was discussing earlier, when I'd gotten out of that abusive relationship, I was just a student. I was not earning, and I did not have the guts to go to my parents and say that, listen, I need therapy, give me money. It was only when I started earning from myself, I started becoming financially independent, is when I started seeking therapy. It was definitely like a big thing, because if you're taking like therapy once a month or twice a month, depending on your need, you're definitely putting a considerable amount. But I started looking at it from a longer picture. There are a lot of girls who say, oh, I feel sad, I go to shopping. That's basically you're just emotionally trying to conceal it. Rather than concealing, if you can just heal it from a longer picture perspective, that's much better and economical. So I think how people take physical health very seriously, they go for their timely screenings, they go for the regular checkups and everything. This was like a part for me then. It was like a part of my health screening. I also realized that with therapy, the fine line and understanding between selfish and self-care, that is like a very important thing. And I realized this is like self-care. How you're on a dark road, and if you see a light, you have that feeling that you have, you feel lost, and you're suddenly like, no, there's something there, and I think that will help me with my direction. That's hope for me. And it is something that I think keeps me going every day.